So I have spent 8 of the past 48 hours watching Avatar Fire and Ash. Or should I say Avatar The Way of Water Part 2. This movie is great. A lot of repetitions and a lot of character arcs that get filled that started in The Way of Water that I assumed would get concluded in The Way of Water. So this is going to be my review of Avatar Fire and Ash after going to see it twice in the span of 48 hours. Um let's get right into it. It's a really good movie. I really enjoy it. We're going to do non-spoilers first. It's very well paced. The first I'd say like 30 minutes or so of the movie, or like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, was kind of slow, but that's expected. The first 15 minutes of most of the Avatar movies are pretty slow. The only difference is this one didn't really engage me as much as the other two did. Like the second one had us catching up with him and seeing his family and whatnot. This one was just kind of going over part of the mourning period, which was, I'd say, pretty crucial to the story, but it was a bit boring to me. Still really good pacing though for a 3 hour movie. It kept me engaged the entire time. Um, the story aspect of it is pretty bland overall, but that's made up for with the character arcs that we either A see get completed, from the second movie, or B get evolved upon and see growth as a character. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna spoil anything from here on out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give the spoiler warning now. Going ahead, there will be spoilers definitely eventually, and there might be some spoilers up ahead. One of my biggest gripes in the second movie was the fact that Jake went from the forest to the sea and learned nothing in regards to his fortress. He's like, "Oh, the sea is our fortress now, but the forest was your fortress at the beginning of the second movie." Just doesn't make sense. It seemed like a character arc that you would have concluded in, okay, my family is my fortress, because even at the end of Way of Water, he sits there and he's like, my family was my greatest weakness, but also my greatest strength, type of deal. And that's what I assumed where he was going. But he was like, nope, this is our fortress. I was like, oh. But they made up for that in the third one by addressing that. Let's talk about Loak real quick. Your dad just told you about the comms, and you forget them 6 seconds later. Your dad just drilled you about comms, and you forget them 6 seconds later. Other than that, I think he was dope the whole movie. He was badass. Um, but since when does Jake need a wingman? I need my wingman. No, you don't. Also, the Control Alt Delete scene broke me. I don't want to talk about it. I like I like Natea more in this movie. I just didn't think he got enough development in the second one. But I mean that made sense. But it also like made me know while I was watching it. Oh, he's gonna die. They developed everybody but him. And I also didn't like the fact that Jake all of a sudden was like, "I'm proud of you, Loak. I'm proud of you. You convinced an ancient council that they need to change their ways." Did Nateum have to do that for you to be proud of him? For you to let him ride with you? That's so stupid. So stupid. But I still like Nateum more in this movie. I think that he's an okay character. The Mongquan clan, I was disappointed. They are great. I love the way they portrayed them. How it almost was like a horror scene. With that one scene with Spider was really cool. But like how they almost direct them to be like they're creepy. They're malicious. They don't care. They're savages, and that's good. But I was disappointed because the name of this movie is Fire and Ash, and half of the scenes that we see with the Fire and Ash people are shown in the trailer. This movie, a lot of people are complaining the fact that it is a copy of The Way of Water, and I could see where they think that, because pretty much the same storyline. The kids get kidnapped a lot, and then they have a big fight at the end that they start losing until Awa comes in and helps, right? But to me, it just felt more like Way of the Water Part 2. It it still followed them directly after the second one, and it was very similar. And they added new aspects like those air people that were flying through. I'm not sure if those are the air people, but that's what people are saying. Those ships are really cool, but it's pretty much the same gist. A little bit of twists here and there, but overall it's the same. I didn't notice it too much in the way of water, but I definitely noticed at least the second go around. Spider's writing. People complain about his acting, but I noticed the writing more than his acting. He didn't give the best performances at time when it came to him acting, but at the same time the script that he was given was so weird. I want to watch it and do a shit and bro counter for every time he says it. It's at least 10 of each per hour of the movie. Like when he was able to start breathing again after she merged the mycelium with him to make that symbiote. Why are you screaming, bro? But another thing is he screamed louder than, what Kiri was doing when she was doing her magic, but Kiri was still pretty loud. So I understood that they heard Spike. But you tell me you didn't hear Kiri too? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because that's like my favorite character after Payakan. The development with Payakan in this movie about how he was exiled and then had to go to his birth clan only to find one left, but that one whale that was left, Loki was his ticket to not being exiled anymore and to finally proving that, hey, A, I didn't do this, and B, we need to change our ways. Which was really, really nice to see. Those elders are big as shit. I need to talk about this. Korch caught a little bit of tail and started acting up. By the end of the movie, he's wearing their paint in front of his general. She talking about some, have you forgotten your uniform? Like, oh shit. I just feel that this goes back to this being Avatar: The Way of Water Part 2. Korch, you can already see, was questioning certain things towards the end of the second one. And then you see it again this movie. You see Jake trying to tell him, like, that Korch is a dead man. Like, you have new eyes. All you need to do is open them. You know what I'm saying? Like, see this world. And you low-key kind of see some of it when he's there with Varang, because it's like he caught a little bit of tail, and now it's a little bit different. But in the end, Quaritch is still Quaritch, and they still did what they did with him. There's no way he's dead. He survived that, I'm convinced. The way he just straight jumped after Spider, no hesitation. Jake was sitting there shocked. He leapt into action, no hesitation. Jake also, after we watch, I see Jake literally was on top of him, like threw him down and was punching on him. And that's when, like, after Jake threw him is when Spider got thrown down and almost fell. And Jake still sat there and just was like, Court stood on business. I don't care. Varang was top one. Varang is great. We didn't see enough of her. We didn't see enough of the Ash people. Like, half of what we saw with her pretty much was kind of shown in the trailer. Y'all like the double hat? I know y'all been noticing it all video. I know y'all was sitting there like, when is he gonna address this shit? Yeah, I'm wearing two hats. Kiri. Her growth started in the way of the water with her seizures and whatnot. Her being shut out by Awa. And it concluded, I want to say concluded, like she still has a lot of room for growth. But she at least was able to push through to Iowa and conclude her issues, some of the issues that she had in the first one, in this one, to be able to have her progress further for the fourth movie if and when they release it, which I thought was really nice. Awa looked cool as shit. I noticed that she had eyebrows and looked somewhat human. I feel like that was just like to not melt their brains. I don't think she's like actually looks like that. Definitely doesn't. Nope, she doesn't. Jake's sudden turn on Spider is so weird and so unearned. Because not even 30 minutes earlier, he was telling Neytiri that that there is another way and that they shouldn't be, just trying to kill Spider. And then they turn around Well, he turns around. Second he gets out of containment, he was mogging everybody during that. The second he gets out of containment, the second Spider helps him get out and literally is a human shield to him. He goes, land it. And then he poses this argument that as long as he's alive, they're going to hunt for him, this, that, and the third. And it's like, where did this come from? You knew this before. You knew this before, and you still thought, okay, we're going to try another way. What changed? What changed, Jake? Seriously, what changed? What the fuck changed? I would understand if they found out that he's the one who saved Quaritch, and then they're like, oh, this guy's a problem. Also, he's not a problem for showing mercy, but I could see how they could see, like, why the fuck did you save Quaritch? Like, he just did all of this. But no, we don't get that. We get him taking him out to the woods, and then we get... I noticed his acting in a few scenes, but this is the one scene that it actually pissed me off because this actually made me bump it down half a point. Will you still love me? That delivery was so fucking flat. It was so flat. Like Jake's deliverance during that scene, it was really good. It was really selling me. And then Neytiri with the representation with the blood on her hands, it was beautiful. And then Spider killed it. And then Jake brought it back with the all my heart. But then I was still thinking, bro, Spider, I know you got better acting in you. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it would have been pretty intriguing if, instead of just turning on Spider, Neytiri turned her back to the whole family. And slowly, like, delved into her own anger and hate. Because Jake said it best, you can't live in hate. She was taking her anger out on Spider, while Jake was taking his anger out on Loak. And it's just like, dog, these are the only two sons y'all have left. These are the only two children, or not children, the only two sons that you have left. Like, what? But I think it would have been really interesting if she slowly lost faith and delved down a dark path, and then her family had to save her. I think that would have been a pretty compelling story. How many times are we going to kidnap the Sully kids? How many times? Can I get a counter? Can I get a counter, chat? Can we get a counter of how many times they're kidnapped? It's ridiculous. In regards to people not liking Spider, they sit there and say he got kidnapped and he did it. They all got kidnapped. Oh, well, he showed the Ikron. What the fuck was he supposed to do? Reese's snack. It's good shit. That's good. Ian Garvin is my GOAT. Piacon is a number 1 GOAT. Ian Garvin is a number 2 GOAT. Broke the glass. Get under here, Jake. Jake already knows what's up. He's already under there, and then they just get the fuck away. Back. Really good. And then, what's the plan? Oh, I didn't get that far. Okay, so we got Neytiri. And speaking of Neytiri, she was the MVP of the film. Behind Piacon. I as you know, I didn't like her in the first one or the second one. I didn't like her, but I did not like her. I just felt pretty neutral about her. And then after the second one, I was like, she's really just racist. And then after the first half of this movie, I was like, she's pretty racist. But after that scene in the forest, when Neytiri goes, I see you, after Jake literally is about to do a character assassination, not of Spider, of his own, it was beautiful. I like her a bit more after this film. She was really nice. I really liked it. I can't get over the fact that Jake doesn't know that Spider saved Quaritch. I feel like it is such a missed opportunity because we already saw the hate and the blame that started seething in regards to Loak when Loak went and was about to do something to himself. Beautiful scene. We can see that after he finds out Spider's the one who saved Quaritch, we could see him slowly shift the blame towards him and start living in hate as he told Neytiri she was doing it. Yeah, in captivity. We could see him just sitting there like, this kid's got to go, you know? That makes sense. But instead they did this, and I just didn't like it. Varang's Ikron thing is huge. Thing has 4 wings. And it is ruthless. what they did to Neytiri. Oh goodness. No, that thing was dope, and it just showed how strong of a warrior she is. And that's honestly why her and Korch were so good together, because he quite literally severed the connection of their Kuru when it wasn't showed that anybody else could really do that besides when Kiri decided to pull up on her and do it herself and be like, "Get away, bitch." It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. And lastly but not leastly, this movie by far, although I didn't like Jake the best in this movie, I think he was the best in the second one. He had the most aura. Like that scene with Neytiri and him walking up, him and the him and Toruk, it was crazy. And then the beach scene, he raises his hand. I drop my hand. You and your little girlfriend die. You especially die a lot. So much aura, so much sauce. The aura king, the sauce king, whatever you want to call it. But now it's time for the indulgent rating. What do I rate Avatar: The Way of Water Part 2? It's an 8 out of 10. It's a solid 8 out of 10. After my first watch, I came out and I was like, "Damn, that's a 9 out of 10. That's great." Upon a rewatch, A, I don't think it's as rewatchable as I initially thought it was, but it still is extremely rewatchable. B, I noticed a lot of the stuff with Spider. C, the whole fire and ash, but half the scenes with the ash people are in the trailer. I don't know. It was a little weird, but it was a really good movie overall. Bringing the franchise, actually keeping the franchise overall, all three movies, adding 8 out of 10 indulgent rating. And yeah, there's that. Um, if you disagree, keep coping, and if you agree, let me know why. I will see you on the next one. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching the video and you actually made it back here, you gotta subscribe and hit that like button, and definitely comment like I just told you to. Later.